Hello and welcome, you amazing person. My name is Rob. I'm the Manning Gaming Guy, and today we'll be playing some more automation. And this is part 6 of this car build. We've done the engine tuning, we've done the main tuning, we did the body, we did lots of detail. I made all the props move, we've changed all the sound, and now this time we are going to be changing the lights. If we change the environment right now to a bit darker, there we go. Actually, for once, the running lights in the front aren't too bad. They actually look really good. Let's put the lights on because it's a bit dull, and we'll see the issues that we're having. One, the tail lights, they're too bright. They shouldn't be shining that much on the road. Two, the lights that shine on the license plate is also shining on the floor, so that needs changing. Three, the flare on the interior lights is just ridiculously bright, and also you'll find it's making the whole car on the inside light up, which we don't want. And also headlights, they look slightly blue, so I kind of like. They're not very bright, they never are. They go this far, they should go a bit further, and then also if we go on to full beam, it's just a little bit further, and it should be a hell of a lot more. So we're going to be fixing all of that today. It's a very tedious thing, which hopefully you won't have to see all of it. We'll see how well it goes. But I do tutorials on this. If you want to know the full progress, feel free to go find them. There'll be a playlist for automation. So let's do this, shall we? We're going to be needing to find our folder that contains our car mod. Mine's Manic Mr. Sue. And it's not engine today we're looking for. It's nothing in the main file. We want to open up this one with just random letters and numbers. It's the code for the car. And we want to open up, I believe, main. As long as it's got all the lights showing up, I've got the right one. Okay, this is the run. Wow, okay. This is a tedious job, but basically, I'm going to have to go through all this code to see it right now. So from here, all the way up to here, I'm going to have to change all of those. Not all of them. Yes, all of them, in fact. I have to change the range, the brightness, and the flare scale. So then it looks a lot more realistic. Now, my normal thing is the low and high beam, I'll leave them first. I'll go to the signals, because they'll all be the same. And I'll go to the running lights, because they'll all be the same. And the reverse light's quite easy to set up, so I'll do that first. And also the brake lights should be quite easy to set up. I'll do that. And the parallel brake lights will also have, or will it be? It might be high and low beam, but where are the brakes? It is 0930. There's only 2 of those. Maybe. We'll find out when we get to doing it, won't we? Oh, this is so tedious. So I think first of all, let's find the running lights. Running light. Okay. Then we tediously go over to the side. Running light brightness. The range and all that sort. So running lights. The only running light we got is in the front, isn't it? I think they looked fine. Okay, so maybe I don't need to change. I'm going to leave the running lights because they're not any problems. Let's change the... Not live, but hoping. Let's see what comes up first. Brake. Let's change the brake. Then the brake brightness. Let's have a look. Brakes on. I tell you what, they're not too bad. I don't know why I can't see my brakes though. They're not shining through the glass. Oh my days. Right, so I'm going to have to go back into automation. Fix the glass. I don't know, it's shining through, but the flare's not shining through. I don't know why. Unless maybe if I made the flare bigger, it would work. Let's try that first. Right, where's the brakes? Maybe that's why. Right, brakes. Maybe it's because of the fixture I used. Light range 7.5. This is a bit too big. I don't want that. I want it to be more like a 3. Light brightness seems to be fine. And the flare, let's try adding a 1 onto there. So let's copy that bit of code. copy that. I'm pretty sure it goes on the one above because that's also the same brake, if I remember rightly. Don't just guess, by the way, people. Make sure you do get these right. Paste that in and we save. Come back to here and refresh. And hit the brakes. Okay. They still look like they're really far away. 3.5. Maybe it's the other brake notes going on as well. So we've got that pasted. Let's find the third brake. It's got 1, 2. There'll be another brake somewhere. Here we go. 3, 4. Oh, mate, there's going to be even more brakes, isn't there? So let's change these quickly. You also can use the replace tool. And it will replace all of them with that. And it only replaced 2 of them, so that's this one and the one above it. And I bet there's another brake. Let's have a quick look. I'm sure it's going to be another one. So that's 4. Have a look. Okay, so no more brakes. So that should be the brakes apparently sorted. If not, then I need to change it all. So I think the range is still ridiculously big. So let's try maybe a range of 1. But lucky now I've done this. Brakes. I can just change them all. So this should change 4 of them when I change this. So I'll use that replace tool again. Up to there. Thanks. Replace. And let's just change. Oh, let's change this down to a 1. Replace all. Changed 4. Amazing. Save. Refresh. Okay, so it's a bit better. Oh, look, I've seen the flares now. Oh, maybe I didn't refresh the game properly. But that's okay. That's the sort of thing I wanted anyway, so... Oh, wrong button. Would be nice if we were making the whole glass light up, but I suppose we'll have to do. What we'll have to do for this one, we'll think about that for the next one. And I reckon... Yeah, I reckon that's alright. Does it need to be brighter or anything? Maybe a little bit brighter. Let's do that. Let's make it a little bit brighter. Not by much. And you can see why this gets a bit tedious. What have I just done? Nothing got replaced. Okay. Oh, because of the... Oh, I know why. Because I have to do this again, don't I? Because all the code's changed. Okay, and then the flare's fine. Looks like replaced 4. Okay, cool. Save. Yeah, awesome. You can tell I'm used to coding, can't you? That'll do. That will do. So you put the lights back on. And then we've got to have to change all of the other lights, just like so. Awesome. Just change the indicators. I think they look a bit more realistic. I was also having trouble again with the lights. I didn't want to use one bit prop for all the lights because that flare would just be in the middle of the light no matter what light it is. So I put different lights inside these lights. It's not gone exactly to plan. It's doing okay. It doesn't glare off this light as much as I was hoping it would, but it's doing the trick. It's doing the trick. It's okay. It still looks pretty. We're happy enough. But I did break it as well. For some reason it's not showing up here, so I'm gonna have to go find that now. Well, yeah, not got a clue what I've done to break this indicator. The only thing I probably have done is like accidentally put a letter in here, or like lazy handness, or just rested on the keyboard, or like maybe put an extra space in somewhere stupid, or maybe deleted a comma. I guarantee that's what I've done somewhere, but it's changing all the code fine. They all match up fine to what I'm meant to be changing, so I'm guessing I've broke it somewhere. It happens. I could go back and restart it all, or we can just keep going. So I'm going to do the next tedious bit, which is now make all the high beam and low beam all exactly the same, but I'm going to set them up as the interior lights, because the interior lights are just But it's just lots of code. Like, if I try and find out where the interior lights is in game, it's really hard to see all the code properly. Whereas for looking at, like, oh, I'll just show you what I mean. Why am I just rambling on? Look, there's all the code numbers, right? Can you guess where all the gauges are? Yeah, so the gauges are really hard to guess and work out which ones you're meant to be grabbing. Whereas if you're looking for the headlights, they're not so bad to find. So you can get them at the right angle, and you can go for all the code, and you can find them in the code quite easy. Same for as the back, not too hard, especially when I've only put one light in each. But yeah, trying to work out which gauge you're trying to change is just a bit tedious. So yeah, what I do is I'll just go through all the code, make all these exactly the same, and then afterwards I'll work out which one's the headlights and which one's my tail lights, and I'll put them how they should be. So if anyone knows of a lot easier way for me to do this, please feel free to share, because this is a bit of a tedious task to do. I may not be up for doing this all the time. It'd be nice if maybe they put a light debug into beamng, the same as they have done with an audio debug. In fact, maybe I should just look. Maybe they have got a debug and I just never actually looked to try and find it. But doing this, just knowing as well afterwards, I didn't need to do this to all of them. I'm going to now, after this, I'm going to have to go hunt and find the ones that I want to convert into actual headlights. And also, I wouldn't mind turning some into fog lights, because that is an option in beamng. So if I can work out what bit of code I got to slap in the front, where it was saying signal left, signal right, blah blah blah. Well, there'd be a fog, maybe fog lamp, fog light. I don't know. I don't know what it would be called. Do you know what it would be called? We'll give it a go. Work it out for us, and we'll slap it in the code and have some working fog lights. Oh my, there's so many to do. When will it end? At least this way I can sort of get extra done. Rather than changing every single one of them. It sometimes goes, hey, I'll give you 4 changed rather than just 1 or 2. Which is quite nice, I guess. I didn't feel right. Okay. It just... So it felt like some code moved in when it shouldn't have done. I hope it's okay. We're safe. So now, I've gone through them all. I've reduced all the lights. Let's get rid of these ends. I'm going to need them later. I call them ends then, but it's because I push Control N to see them. Right, let's turn the lights on, and we should have... Oh no, very bright lights because I've not refreshed the game. Let's refresh the game. Turn the lights on. We should have barely any lights. Yes. Go inside the car, and these lights are still lighting up there. That shouldn't be happening. So we need to fix that. So what I have to do though now is go into here, highlight this bit of code, and replace, and then let's turn the brightness. No, the range, it's going to be the range, isn't it? Let's turn the range down to maybe 0.5. Let's give that a go. 0.5. Replace all 54 of them. Oh my god, there's so many I need to go change now afterwards. Save, refresh, put the lights back on. Hey, that's a little bit better. It's bouncing off here a little bit. Can I handle that? Or is that something I still want to change? I think that's still a bit too much. The brightness is okay, I guess. The flare is not too much. Go outside the car. There's basically no flare on it, which is the way I want it. Yeah, so let's turn the range down a little bit more. So let's do that again. Just click, replace, Let's change, not the flare, but the distance. Let's try 3. I think that might be alright. 54 again. Save, and back, and refresh. And put the lights back on. Shouldn't change when I do the brightness. It just stays exactly the same as what we want. No extra glare. I want a little bit to come off the wheel. Nice. And a little bit of bounce off everywhere else. What's that? Oh yeah, it's just that light bounce off there. Good. That's the sort of thing I wanted. So a little bit of light bouncing everywhere. They need to add like another layer of called ambient glow, I guess. So they've got the brightness, but the brightness and the range, they've got the range. The range should be all over the car, like sort of thing, but it shouldn't always be as bright. But then you should still be able to see this quite bright. I don't know how to explain it, but it should be more light levels, basically, I reckon, to get a really good feel for it. So that, yeah, I think they're fixed. So now is the tedious task of this tedious task. So the brake lights should be fine, and the tail lights will need sorting out, and then the headlights, and then hopefully add some fog lights, and that should be it. But as you saw, there was 54 to change, but most of that should be in here. It shouldn't hopefully be as many. But what I'm going to have to do is go 522, sort of work out which one that is. I don't think it's going to be down here. So this is, I could eliminate the high beams, I guess. These what I want. Well, I want these to be fog lights. So technically, these shouldn't come on at all until we've got the code sorted out. Which ones do I do first? The 522 looks like the main one, and maybe 544. And we've got 64. I've got indicator will be here somewhere, and obviously we've got the running light will be here somewhere, and then also our normal one, which I'm going to set to have a high beam and a low beam. So 522. Let's have a look at 522, shall we? And then confirm the rest of the text as well. So scrolling. I could use a search for this, but 522. So we got 4 of them. Makes sense. There should be some on the other side of the car as well. And the code's all the same. Right. So 522, we want a low beam and a high beam. We're on the highest one on low beam, so we have to go over to the here. And then I like my low beam to set to about 120. No, we'll make it a bit less than that. We'll make it, for this one, we'll make this one 90. So let's test 90 out. And then for the high beam, we'll make it like 180. Yeah, okay. And then for the brightness, like 1, 2. We'll give it a go. Buckle my shoe. And flare, I think we'll do like a bit of flare. You know, flare doesn't really work that well in this game. It sort of clips through bodies, unfortunately. And the only way to stop that is have the light right up to the point of clipsation. Right, flare. We'll just put a 1 in there. And then 2 again. In there. And I think that'll work fine, hopefully. So it's, I hope we even got the right thing. I didn't fully check it. But it's got high beam and low beam, so I reckon we have. So let's copy that into this one. Because it was the top 4, wasn't it? And then this one into this one. Paste. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I've managed to change the right thing. I've been given a bit of advice. Someone said change the color in the code. So if you go in the code, you can see the color of the lights. It's normally lots of F's and stuff. Yeah, so here, this should be the color of the car. There's a lot of F's though. Is that too many? There's a lot of F's to have to change, and that can't be there. I know what you're saying. Like normally the color of the car is lots of F's and whatnot, letters and things. But I've got light colour over here. I don't know if that is what we think it is. Yeah, mate who made that comment. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Because these don't look like colour numbers. I don't know. Ignore that, possibly, people. Ignore that. So we saved that. We've done this. Let's put some lights on. Let's see what it looks like. Right, there we go. Yeah, we sorted out them lights. Full beam, low beam. It goes a little bit further. I think it could go a bit further still. Especially with the high beam. That high beam should maybe like be 240, maybe. It gives us a bit room for the low beam. Yeah, low beam just doesn't seem that far. Don't even seem that bright. Yeah, so I want to change that a little bit. And then I'll come back with the next stage. Right, so that's the tedious front bit done. Well, I didn't refresh it. So we got our normals, and then we got our full beams, which is a bit overkill because the fog lights at the moment are just working as full beams, which ideally, like I said, I want them to be fog lights rather than full beams. But we'll get over that eventually. I see fog lights probably should be normal brightness, not full brightness. Anyway, don't really matter. Next, we're going to be trying to sort out the tail lights. So that's this thing. It's showing up there, but it's not showing up in the back and all that. So let's just work that one out, shall we? Well, I think that will be suffice. Got a nice bit of flare, glare stuff going on now, so it feels more like a real light. I feel like I might make that even brighter. Need to get rid of the letters, really. Adjustments will be made afterwards. It's more or less just to get the gist and get it about right before we start the next one. What car do we do next, eh? Hopefully one without so many lights on would be nice. The only thing is now, my brake lights don't really cover it too much. I want to increase the brake lights now, make them more vibrant, like something's going on, makes you want to stop a bit more. If you're behind someone, more realistic, so we say. Well, that's a bit more the idea. Oh, wrong button again. But we do love the sounds. The flare is probably a bit overkill on the brakes, but we're getting the idea. Look, it's a bit dimmer and then it gets brighter. But I probably should reduce both of them. Wouldn't be as much of a problem if the lights were working a bit better, but it is what it is, I guess. It's still more realistic than what it was, that's for sure. Right, what next then? So I think next... is that it? Wait a minute. That might be it. So we got... Get rid of all this. So we got our headlights, dash lights. These lights are working better. See how they're not on the floor now, but they're still giving us a sheen off the bumper. That looks cool. It'd be nice to be getting a sheen of the red on the bumper. But I don't know, maybe it's just not backing off. It sort of works. We still can do better, can't we? We can do better. The tail lights, they don't look as realistic. I want the actual whole glass to glow up, I think. So maybe I'll have to painstakingly do the same job. Do this to get the flares right in the right place. And then also do the glass, but turn the flares down so we can get the glass glowing up as well as the lights. So much more coding and tedious stuff. The front looks cool. I like that. Is it too glary? No, I think that's quite realistic. If you're going down a like down the road, that would be quite a blurry sight. From a distance, looks cool. So we put the indicators on. See how that looks. I've still got a broken indicator. Don't know why it's not worked. Oh, maybe when the car gets put out there, you guys can find what's wrong and change it. Yeah, I think that looks cool inside the car. Sounds good. Put the fog lights on. So I've got to find out what is it just called fog light, do you think? Do we just go into code and change it to fog light? I don't know, someone's got to know out there. There we go, cool. It would be nice to know how to light bar. I can put light bars on the car for automation. I can get things to activate when you put light bar, but I don't know how to get lights to turn on yet. Like a bit of code that turns things into like the light code. Or do I just put the code in myself with these? Even though I don't know what the prop number would be called because it gets given that. Who knows? Anyway, it's been fun, that's for sure. I don't know what's next. Do we do a bit of a car spin, take it for a spin, make a few videos of it, some cinematic videos, see how cool it looks up against real automation, real BMG cars? I think we've done quite well. Obviously, I would love next stage to be, it needs GPS. We need to work out the GPS. If anyone knows a good video to watch to get that done. I've half done it. I've half done the work, but it's just, it kind of broke, so maybe it's just something I need to try and do again. I noticed that didn't work. That should have worked. Why is there a gap there? I definitely fixed that. That's a bit odd. That's very odd. Anyway, what else do we need? beamng mirrors. These mirrors blow because it's just chrome. It's just reflective chrome, so it's not actually a proper mirror. So we could do some beamng mirrors. We want beamng GPS. And there's something else I was thinking as well that we need to be beamng sort of style. What was it? I can't remember. But basically, oh, license plate. I need to be able to put a beamng license plate on. So when you do the settings in beamng, it actually just says what it's meant to say on there. So when people have their own cars, it says what it's meant to say on the bumper. We need to do that. So anyone got any advice where I can find that information out, please let us know. Because I'll also be diving into eventually taking these cars into Blender, chopping all the parts off that are meant to open up, like the doors and the boots and the bonnets. And yeah, then we do all the interior of them, and we do all the engine parts, make it all move and things. So eventually it's a fully working car. That obviously we use automation as a base, which lots of people hate. Let me know in the comments, people, why do people hate automation cars as a beamng mod so much? Well, it's so much fun. I get that the wheels are a bit jank. I get that there's a lot of people making them out there and they're also pretty jank. But there's a few small pinch of people out there, like my friend Sol, who just make cars that are delightful to drive and be in. So let me know what is to do about it. I've had fun doing this. I hope you guys have too. I hope it's not been too long for you. I've tried editing this one so it's a bit better for you, because you don't want to be, you know, well, you don't want to be bored while watching these, do you? Well, I've been the Manny Gaming Guy, and I think it's time to take this car for a spin and watch it roll over, because at high speeds this car, without me holding the wheel, will just start doing a bit of a wiggle, and then eventually it'll do a really big wiggle. Come on, do your big wiggle. Where's the big wiggle? Oh, he's getting that. Here he comes. Whee! And then it just keeps spinning like a lunatic. Look at it go. Obviously, we've got the traction control on. What a send out, eh? What a send out. There will be another video about this car, but I also need to get my finger pulled out and get over onto beamng and make my maps, finishing off making them, so my Patreon people will be happy that they got more mappage to play with. Thank you again for popping by. I want you to keep it real, stay safe and share love. Bye bye. Let me know when you would have told a bloke to stop by now, wouldn't you? Stop the car! Get it out! I don't care, we're on these open salt valleys. You're a lunatic. Have a good one.